Well, returning to our top story now, an injunction preventing the deportation of a Tamil family has now been extended until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Judge Bromberg today in the federal court said he needed more time to consider his decision. He cut this close, though, announcing the extension of the injunction just 20 minutes before it was set to expire. The court is considering the eligibility of the couple's 2-year-old girl for a protection visa. For more on this, I'm joined by Tamil Refugee Council spokesman Umesh Perenpanayagam. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Look, the court today, I'm not sure if you're aware of what the discussion was, but can you give us a sense of whether this extension of only 24 hours gives the family much hope, or is this an indication that they're more likely now to be deported?
Well, the minister always has the opportunity to intervene, but we understand that the judge still wants to hear the arguments, and potentially this could be extended further if the judge believes that there's further arguments that need to be held. But I believe he'll be making a decision on that tomorrow around 2:15 p.m. But obviously, the family's still
do you have any idea? Yeah, what potential arguments still may need to be heard in this?
Well, yeah, I can't go too much into the legal technicalities. I'm not the lawyer, but essentially there's an argument as to whether or not she should have the right to put in an application for a protection visa, or whether she already has the right to do that. Is quite a complicated matter, and that's why it's taking so long.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Look, at the end of the day, for the parents anyway, they've been denied refugee status. This boils down to whether they are at risk of persecution back in Sri Lanka. Give us an understanding of where they're from and whether they would indeed face persecution.
Sure. So both Priya and Nadesh are from the east of the island. The north and the east is the Tamil-dominated region, and for decades the government has discriminated against the Tamils. There was a war which ended in 2009, but since then the Sri Lankan military has occupied these Tamil areas. 15 of 19 or 20 divisions of the Sri Lankan army are stationed in the northern province, for example. It's highly militarized. The military is involved in all kinds of activities, even, for example, running preschools. 25% of the preschools in the northern province are run by the Sri Lankan military. Ben Emerson previous year had given his report, special rapporteur, saying that torture is still endemic and that Tamils bear the brunt of this well-oiled torture machine. And the situation is also evolving, and I think maybe that was reflected in Scott Morrison's comments on your show a few weeks ago. Comments that you showed on your show, that the push factors are increasing. And one of the factors is that Gotabaya Rajapaksa, the former defence secretary during 2009 and after, who is accused of, is well recognised as being in charge of many horrific crimes, is possibly the likely candidate to win the upcoming elections in November or December.
Look, given this situation, can I get a sense from you here in Australia, presumably this isn't the only Tamil family who came by boat that has been unable to secure a refugee visa. Are there many in a similar situation?
Yeah, I mean, all Tamils are worried about being, potentially deported. Those conditions apply to all those people. And
so, how many are we talking about? Are you aware of how many are in a similar situation here?
Well, they're still going through the process. The government set up this Immigration Assessment Authority, the fast-track process, and many people's claims have been denied through that. But we say that that process is a broken process, and the number of claims being accepted through that process is very low compared to the previous processes and even the Administrative Appeals Tribunal, which is the alternative process.
Yeah. So if there were ministerial intervention for this family, would you then be seeking a similar outcome for those others you're talking about?
The minister intervened in this case of a Rohingya child. He was on Nauru. He was brought here. The minister has exercised his judgment approximately 4,000 times, I think, three times a day. So it's a common thing for the minister to intervene in immigration matters.
But I'm just asking, if he did this time for this family, would you expect him to do the same for the other Tamils in a similar situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think we believe that it is not safe for Tamils to be returned to Sri Lanka under the current situation. But this particular case has got a lot of community support. Which creates, the media coverage and the level of public attention is a reflection of the desire of the community of Biloela to have this family. And only a few weeks before they were taken from Biloela in March 2018, Minister Dutton had said that our rural areas need migrant workers to work in abattoirs, etc. And there's a question, the people of Biloela are asking, why is this family any different from those other families that the Australian government is trying to get into those communities?